Hey, it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualized, My Asexual Life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit that great big subscribe button down below. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now, post video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying the content, if you find it helpful, useful, insightful in any way as we go on. If you don't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of this wonderful book, Asexual Perspectives, Love, Life and Sex, A Celebration of Asexual Diversity. It's a really big book. I'm also the founder of asexualise.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy. In tonight's episode, it's really essential you do watch this episode, especially if you're thinking about getting into a relationship, you're currently in a relationship, or you are interested in being in a relationship with someone. Maybe it's someone you like from afar. It doesn't matter where in the relationship you are at the beginning stages or whether you've been with a person for a long time. This video is going to help you find out if you're with someone who basically is likely to be cheating on you or is going to cheat in probably the near future. So what are the signs that someone is cheating on you or they're going to cheat on you? What's the most likely signs that will give you evidence in support of the theory that they are likely to cheat or be cheating on you? First of all, I want to say that if you've got an inkling, a gut feeling, intuition that the person is cheating on you because something seems off, then always follow through with your intuition, because a lot of the time you will likely be right. Okay, so intuition is a really powerful tool that is there to protect you. And if something smells off, if the person's, for example, changed in behavior, that is a big sign. If they've changed in behavior, really different behavior, that they could be cheating on you. So you might find that when you first get with them, or when you've been with them in a relationship for a while, you know, at the beginning they were very attentive, they were very complimentary on the way you looked, they were very wanting to do things for you, they were very, they were very into you. And then all of a sudden that is kind of gone. There's another video I'm going to be doing shortly as well. It's about control. Okay, so some of these signs may also be to do with a controlling person as well. So they do kind of sometimes overlap. But yeah, so if a person's like become disinterested in you and their behavior's now showing you that they're not attentive to your needs, they're not attentive to you, they don't really care what you think anymore, that's a huge sign that they've lost interest in you, and they're likely to either be cheating on you with someone else, or they're interested in other people, being with someone else, because they're not interested in you anymore. So that's a big red flag. Okay. Some of the more subtle things. So for example, if they've got your picture on a screensaver on their phone, or like a mobile device, particularly a phone, because that's something they carry on them usually all the time, and all of a sudden they've just took you off that for no apparent reason, they've put something really stupid on their screensaver, or they haven't even got a screensaver on there anymore, that is a big red flag, because they don't want other people to see that they're in a relationship with you anymore. So if they took you off their screensaver, especially if they were like really saying, oh, look, I've put you on my screensaver, and they were the ones who took the action to put you on the screensaver, you didn't tell them, but they did that. And, it's a really good picture with you two together. And then all of a sudden they just take it off and they put some crappy photograph on there, right? Which has happened to me. It's like, why on earth would you take a picture off of a gorgeous girl off your phone and put a load of some buildings on there, basically? Well, it was caravans, it's like, why on earth would you do that? Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't, in your right mind. No guy or girl who's got a partner they adore, they love, is going to want to swap it out for some building scenery, that's boring, and you're like really good looking and beautiful, because you are going to be good looking and beautiful to that person if they fall in love with you like they say they have, if they were attentive to your needs, if they were loving and caring and very attracted to you, then obviously something's very off if they're changing their screensaver and just putting something random on there, right? And it's because they don't want other people to know that they're in a relationship with you. Because obviously if they meet someone when they're out at a party, at a nightclub or whatever, there's no evidence on the phone that you're their partner. No evidence at all if they've took that off. I have two asexual friends who are both in relationships. One of them has got a screensaver of their girlfriend on there. The other one's always showing me pictures of his girlfriend. You know, they're proud to be with them. They're proud to be, and especially if the person was proud to be with you in the first place, that doesn't just change overnight unless they're lying in the first place, unless they really don't feel that about you, and maybe they were just trying to use you for some reason. You know, in which case, if they're using you, they're likely to cheat on you anyway because they don't really love you in the first place. You know, what are the other signs? You know, like I said, disinterest is a huge one. Also, if they will not add you on their Facebook profile, don't think this is sweet and innocent. It's because they do not want someone to know that they are in a relationship with you, because they want other people to think they're available to be in a relationship with them. So I had a guy in the past, for example, and he didn't want to be seen on social media with me, and he didn't even want any pictures of me and him on Facebook, right? That I was dating him for a couple of months, right? And this was a heterosexual guy a couple of years ago, right? And he didn't want me to go on his Facebook profile. Why? Because he's after other women. That's why. He didn't want to be seen with me, you know, like dating me or in a relationship with me, and wouldn't commit to a relationship because he's interested in seeing other women and would likely have cheated on me, you know? So that's a sign to look out for. If they're not prepared to put they're in a relationship with you on Facebook, they don't even want to add you on Facebook as a friend, get the hell out of there, you know? I know it's social media and we shouldn't live our lives by social media, but the fact is most of us do have social media in our lives, you know? It's a huge deal. And if they are already got a Facebook profile and you've got a Facebook profile and you're in a relationship with them, they should be adding you as a friend if they're interested in you in the first place, to prove they've got nothing to hide to you. If they will not add you as a friend to Facebook and you're thinking about getting a relationship with them, don't get in a relationship with them, because they don't want you to see what they're really like. They don't want you to know their family. They don't want you to know their friends. They don't want you to know stuff about them, because they are likely a cheater. You know, they are likely to go around like after other men or after other women, depending on obviously what their preference is. So they won't add you on Facebook. Get the hell out of there. They're just lying gits. All right. I'll be plain and simple on tonight's video, because one of my asexual friends recently, really lovely guys, homo romantic, so interesting guys romantically, he was recently cheated on. And he is a really, 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 really good guy. Very professional, got his own career, his own business. Very, very good guy, well known in the asexual community, actually. And he was cheated on. And like he said, it's their loss. It's absolutely their loss. But I think it's disgusting. I think it's absolutely disgusting that people come with asexuals. They know they're not going to get sex unless they're an asexual that happens to be okay with sex. But they know in general that if you're upfront about your asexuality, which I know this person is, same as I am, you know, and they know they're not going to get sex, you know, and they're saying they're okay with that, and then they cheat. That is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting and vile. And those people are vile for doing it. And I will speak out about this. You know, this is a channel where I tell the bitter truth about dating and relationships. I tell you what it's really like to be an asexual in this highly sexualized world. I will tell you the good stuff, and I will also tell you the stuff like this to help you in your life, you know? So if you've just joined the channel, because channel tonight, I've already gone through that if they've changed behavior, they were really attentive, really into you before, and then all of a sudden they become disinterested in you, like they're not really bothered about being in a relationship with you, that's a big red flag. They are likely to either be cheating on you already or gonna cheat on you, right? Okay, big, big, big red flag, right? If they are taking you off their screensaver to put rubbish on there, then that is a big red flag, because they don't want other people to know that you two are in a relationship together. They don't want people knowing that, strangers, because strangers will see their phone, obviously. They're likely either cheating on you or they're going to cheat because they want to pretend they're single. If they won't add you to their Facebook profile as a friend and you're thinking about getting with them, don't bother if they won't do that because they've got stuff to hide. A person who's interested in you shouldn't have secrets and things to hide from you. There should be no need for that. They should be open and honest because they really adore you, right? If they'll add you to Facebook, but they've got 2 profiles, be aware, even a lot of asexuals have 2 profiles, right? So asexuals can still cheat on other asexuals. So I'm not just saying it's sexuals that cheat on us, because other asexuals can cheat on us. I would think it's less likely because obviously of the it's not going to be really usually in the sexual sense, but there still can be some that do it, and obviously some people that say are asexual are not really asexual, so you've got to be very careful of that. So yeah, so if they've got 2 profiles, a lot of some asexuals do because they have one for their family and friends that can see them, see their normal like day-to-day life, and they have another one for their asexual friends because they don't want their family and friends to know they're asexual. At the end of the day, if you're asexual and you're going to get into a serious committed relationship with another asexual and they cannot be bothered to tell their family, their friends because they're hiding, that's fine. Let them hide. Let them not come out. Let them be them. But that's no good for you in a long-term, serious committed relationship with them, because sooner or later they're going to have to come out. They're going to have to show you to their family, their friends, and stuff like that, right? They're not going to be able to hide it for every day. And if you're a type of person that's out about your asexuality, maybe you're not out about your asexuality, and maybe you're okay with that because they're not out about it, and maybe that's okay, right? Maybe there is instances, but I'm telling you, if you want a serious, committed relationship, which should be out in the open, no secrets, no hiding, you really want that person to be open about their asexuality, not hiding it. Because if they're hiding that, what the hell else are they hiding? And you need a strong person for you in a relationship. Relationships are tough. They are damn tough and they're damn hard. And if you have not got someone who is a strong person for you and can be strong to the world with you, then you are already on a slightly losing battle, because you need someone who's super strong for you, who can be there through the good times and bad times. I will not keep my asexuality secret, as you know. I won't. I'm proud that I'm asexual. How can I possibly have a relationship with someone where I'm hiding parts of myself or I'm hiding from the world? A relationship's all about being serious, committed. Obviously, if you're the casual type who just wants a asexual fling or whatever you want, fine. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a serious, loving, happy, healthy, committed relationship, which is what some of us who are serious really, really want. And I don't want people to be cheated on. So that's why I'm doing this video, right? So if they've got 2 profiles, right, and they will not add you to both profiles and put you in a relationship in both profiles or more, they might have more than 2 profiles. Some of the people have got 5 profiles, which is dodgy as hell anyway. But, if they're not going to add you to both profiles, why? Because they want to keep the other profile that you're not in a relationship with them so that they are available to other people to cheat on you. Or maybe they're already cheating on you. One of the people I was in a relationship with, conveniently, couldn't find their password to their second profile, right? Couldn't find their password to their second profile. Couldn't find it, apparently, right? There's ways of getting into a second Facebook profile if you really want to, right? And then all of a sudden, when I'm not in a relationship with them anymore, all of a sudden they can access that and can try and friend me on it. Do you think I want to be friends with someone who does that? No. And who should be on there but their ex-girlfriend? Hiding stuff, you see? Who's to say they weren't even seeing their ex-girlfriend where they were with me? Do you know what I mean? Or seeing other people, because that was their second profile that they conveniently couldn't find the password to when I was in a relationship with them. And think how I felt seeing their ex-girlfriend on there. I mean, I don't have a problem with the ex-girlfriend. I don't have a problem with that at all. The fact, that they've been in relationships before, I have a problem with the fact that they were still looking like they were in a relationship with that other person while they were meant to be with me. That in a way is slightly cheating in itself, making people think falsely that they're in a relationship with someone else. Because it wasn't just like photographs in their Facebook as in album. It was a photograph on their profile, like they got with me on their other profile. Like the couple together faces profile in their main picture that everyone can see. Do you know what I'm saying? And he also had pictures with the hands around them and stuff like that, you know? I mean, they did tell me they had ex-girlfriends. Well, not at first, actually. They lied. So, yeah, another red flag is if they lie to you about anything in the beginning whatsoever, don't give them a second chance. Usually I don't, and I gave one person a second chance, won't be doing it again, right? Because if someone lies to you in the beginning about anything, they are likely to lie in the future about other things to you, right? They are likely to lie, you know, and if it's to do with relationship stuff they're lying about, they are much more likely to cheat, and they are much more likely to either be cheating or cheat in the future. Another red flag is when you see porn stuff all over their page, you know, all over their Facebook page, or they're friends with people that have porn posers, you know, that have basically got no clothes on, right? I mean, if they keep thinking about people with no clothes on and all this porn stuff, you know, what's going through their head? They're obviously very sexual people, really, aren't they? And if their words don't match their actions, or their words don't match actually what they're doing, then they're likely to be lying to you as well. Do you know what I mean? So all these are like huge, huge, huge red flags to walk away, go away. And it's horrible because they will lie to you to cover it up. So the screensaver situation, they'll say, oh, well, they either won't have an answer for it, or they'll make up some bull. Like, oh, I don't know what happened. Oh, it must have just come off by itself, you know? And obviously other red flags are if they're getting texts by other women or men, if it's, you know, depending on who you're interested in, they're getting texts off the gender that they're interested in, the texts that are constant, texts that are about sex stuff, sex toys, going for, you know, like to their place, all the type of stuff that in a relationship they shouldn't be having texts about. Do you know what I mean? So if there's any of that stuff going on with other people, that's a big red flag. If they're watching loads of stuff on YouTube that's full of porn and full of sex, then obviously they're interested in other women and having sex, even if they say they're not. And, you know, it's just like you can see all the red flags, can't you? And when you're in a relationship or you're interested in someone in a relationship, and you really like them, you kind of ignore these red flags, right? Because you try and be like sensible about it. You try and be understanding about it. You try and rationalize it out. But really, these are like smacking you in the face saying this person is either cheating on you or going to cheat on you or wants to cheat on you, right? That's what they are. And I don't want you to get hurt because it hurts like hell sometimes. But you can get over it, right? If you are in this situation now and you've been with a person just for a few weeks, or whether it's a few months or years, just leave them, right? I know that's easier said than done, but just do it, because there is no way you can trust a person like this, right? No way. I have been on another channel recently, and this woman wanted to get back with her ex, and she's like, oh, you know, how do I stop him lying to me and get back with him? You don't stop them lying to you. You don't get back with them, right? There's only one ex I have ever got back with in my life, and that I shouldn't have done, right? I will not be getting back with any exes again. Do you know what I mean? That's it. Period. Whatever I said before, they are out of my life. I don't go back into the dragon's den and the lion's den to just have a guy who treats them like dirt. It's never going to happen, you know? And a big red flag is obviously if they let you go easily. So say they lose. Also, cheaters will blame you when it's not your problem. Yes, Heather, I agree totally. Cheaters will blame you when it's not your problem, and that is also controlling behavior. Because I'm going to do a video about controlling behavior, which I'm going to be doing in the next live stream. But yeah, cheaters will blame you when it's not your problem. Exactly, they will blame you. They'll tell you like they'll have a go at you. So say with the screensaver, that person didn't have a go at me, but say they had it done, they would turn it around going something like, oh, you're just being oversensitive, or you're just being, you know, you're just being like, you know, you're just getting a bit emotional. They'll just say something nasty like that. They'll say something to put the emphasis on you. That's what they do, and it's a form of control and manipulation as well. They usually blame you, right? And I'm so glad that I can now see the light of what was actually in front of me before, which I didn't see because I was a bit blinded at the time. But you know, and the thing is, you know, is like you just gotta love yourself so much that you can just detach from that person. Even if you think you can't, you can just literally detach from them, block them out of your life, get them gone. Don't, if they ask to be your friend, right? If anyone who's manipulated you, controlled you, been nasty to you, doesn't even like you, is showing you no love, compassion, is just basically a bad person for you, just block them. Don't be friends with them because they want their cake and eat it. Why do they want to stay friends with you? Oh, it didn't work out, but I still want to be friends with you. Why? Because they can have their cake and eat, because they want you on the sideline in case there are other relationships with the people they're either cheating on you already with, or going to cheat on you with, or were about to cheat on you with, but you actually stopped the relationship there and then. They want you on the sideline so that if they're bored, they can talk to you. If the other relationship doesn't pan out, or they don't have a bit of their whatever they want, like kissing, affection, whatever they want, they can get it from you. And you'll be there to pick up the pieces and feel sorry for them. And it's a form of manipulation, control, and ego. All they care about is their own ego. They don't give a toss about you, right? And it's really hard to hear this, isn't it? It's really, really, co-workers can do it as well. Yeah, I said at the beginning of this video, Heather, that some of this goes into control and manipulation as well, because obviously people who cheat are liars and they're often controllers and manipulators anyway. And so they will start controlling you, and it's not very good, you know what I mean? But there are lots of signs that these people are cheating on you, especially when they try and cut you out of them being public with you, because they want not to be seen with you in public. If they stop kissing and cuddling you as well and holding your hand in public, that is a huge red flag, because they don't want other people to be seen in a relationship, to see you in a relationship with them. They don't want you to be seen in a relationship with them because they want to hide that way. The heterosexual guy, for example, in 2017, he didn't even what he said. There was someone came past in a car right from his work, and he's like, "Oh, I can't hold your hand." I'm like, "Why?" He's going, "Oh, because my was actually one of their co-workers will see them. If they are interested in seriously dating you, even if you're not in a relationship yet, but you mean so much to them, and they're really interested in being in a relationship with you in the future, then of course they'll want to hold your hand, right? They'll want to hold your hand. They'll want to be seen with you in public. They'll be proud to be with you. If they are not proud to be with you, and you're a fantastic person, get the hell out of there. And it's really important, if you've had someone who is cheating on you, going to cheat on you, does cheat on you, is cheating, you get the hell away from them as soon as possible. It doesn't matter what your friends think, your family, right? Because cheaters will always show to other people usually that they're a nice person. This is what controllers do as well. To everyone else, they'll be nice. They'll seem the sweet, innocent person, because this is what they do, right? They do it because they don't want people to know what they're really like, and therefore it makes the person who is in the relationship with them seem more insane or unreasonable, right? But you know the truth. You know the damn truth. It's staring you in the flaming face. You just don't want to admit it because you love the person or care about them so much. And it's hurtful, isn't it? It's hurtful to say, I've got this person, they're either cheating on me, gonna cheat on me, because that's usually the case. They're either cheating on you already, or they're going to cheat on you. And if they're going to cheat on you, really, they're cheating anyway, because in their head, they're already after other people. So they are actually cheating. They, even if they haven't physically had sex with someone else, they're after other people. They're cheating on you, right? So whether they're cheating on you now or they're going to cheat on you, these people are two-faced. Exactly. They're very two-faced. Very two-faced. And I'm just glad I'm single. I have to say that. And I think it's really important that if you've been with anyone who's a cheater, a liar, a manipulator, a controller, that you actually just have some time out from relationships. You can stay on the dating scene, but if you want, but just focus on other things, and just, try and get your mind to be happy being single again, focusing on yourself, focusing on other things, because the last thing you want to do is go for another relationship, because you're likely to get a similar type of person, because you're in a very, very weaker place. I mean, you're not, obviously, if you've left that person, you're in an empowering place because you actually had the guts to leave them, but they pretty much forced your hand, didn't they? If, they're cheating or gonna cheat on you. But, you have to take care of you, because you will be. How's everyone doing? Pray you are all having blessed day. Right, okay. So if someone is likely, to be cheating or cheating on you, and you were in a relationship with them, you need to take time out for you afterwards. After you've got rid of the person, you've said bye, don't take their rubbish anymore, leave them. You need to spend some time working on yourself and get your self-esteem back, your confidence, and really, really being loving towards yourself, because the person that comes along next, you're not likely to trust anyway again. It's going to take you a while to get to trust someone again, because you gave a certain amount of trust to that person, right? Because if you're in a relationship with them, then you did give them some trust at some sort of level, and they betrayed that trust. So you're going to take some time to heal from that. You need to retract back a bit and say, hey, well, I'm not closing myself off to other people. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna stop other opportunities happening. But right now, I need to spend time healing myself. I need to spend time healing myself. Not getting involved too quickly with people again. And really sort of taking a step back and doing other things. Working on your favorite projects, your favorite hobbies, your interests. Getting back to really buttering yourself up a bit, making yourself feel really special, because when someone's cheated on you or been in a relationship with someone who's gonna cheat on you, and you pretty much know they are, or they've already done it, or they're about to do it, it can really lower your self-esteem and self-confidence, especially in the first place if they were all over you like a rash and was like, oh, I really love you, oh, you're beautiful, and all the rest of them. And then all of a sudden they become disinterested. It can make it seem like you're the problem, but you're not the problem at all. It's just that they were interested in other people, going off and cheating with them. It's not actually that you're not an interesting person. It's just that you're obviously better than they are, because you're not the one who's cheating or lying or covering things up. Yeah. And and another red flag is if they've got other women messaging I love you, whether it be in a Facebook message, in private message. Some friends, they will put sometimes hearts or kisses on messages, sometimes they will, but if it's really over the top, and if it's specifically saying the words I love you, this is a huge red flag that there's some weird type of thing going on here. Do you know what I mean? Some of my guy friends, they will put kisses on. Some of them will put hearts on occasion in their messages. Usually one that put hearts on are the ones that actually are attracted to me in some way. But, but it won't be over the top. It might be one heart or something. Do you know what I mean? And it might be a couple of kisses, right? And, in sort of in kind of this day and age in modern society, some, that's kind of seen as normal for some people to do that. But if someone's, if they've got an actual person on their Facebook going, I love you, and stuff like that, that's a huge red flag that what the hell's going on here? This is too over friendly. Do you know what I mean? This is too much. And if you look how they treated past ex-girlfriends as well, if you can find out information about, or past ex-boyfriends, depending on who you're interested in, you can find out how they treated their past relationships, why they ended and stuff like this. You might start to find out that they cheated on them, or they were going after loads of people. Like one of the people I was in a relationship with, I found on their Facebook page, women past, a past girlfriend. And I looked at the comments, and there was two other women in the comments saying, oh, you're with him, are you? Good. He's stopped messaging us now then. Or maybe he'll stop messaging us now he's with you. And they also said something not very nice about the person, meaning the person's not very good. And, so basically this person, one of their ex-girlfriends, well, not ex-girlfriend, I think, but they got in a relationship with this person, and two other women were saying, oh, good, perhaps he'll stop messaging me. Now he's with you. And they call him basically a name, reflective of how they felt, that basically he was just going around messaging loads of women. So if that's how he's treating an ex-girlfriend, that he was basically messaging loads of women until he got a woman to call his girlfriend, then obviously he's not a very trustworthy guy, because he's just going around messaging loads of women until one eventually says, yes, I'll be in a relationship with you. Do you see what I mean? And if in the past that they haven't had, in the past relationships, they've got a bad track record of keeping relationships, that's another huge red flag. That either, it's a huge red flag, the relationship's not going to last with you if they can't even hold down a relationship. It might not be necessarily that they're going to cheat on you, but it means they're not capable of, having a long-lasting, sustainable, fulfilling relationship if they're just going, along aimlessly having a few weeks of a relationship or a few days of relationship is like a huge red flag, isn't it? And I think as people we have this kind of ego, that, you know, we don't call it ego, we just call it like we like to think we're different, right? We like to think that when we get into a relationship with this person, we're the ones who are different, so they'll be different with us. But usually 9 times out of 10 this isn't the case, because it's them that's got the problem, not you. It's them who is incapable of having a fulfilling, long-lasting, loving relationship. It's not you, it's them. But they won't say it's them, because, you know, if they said it was them, God help them, you know, what would they do then? They need to see a therapist and stuff like that, which they won't do if they think they're right all the time, if they're very controlling, if they're a narcissist or someone like that, right? They don't want to be saying stuff like that. So you've really got to take that overall picture. And I think when you're in a relationship with someone, it's a lot harder to admit to yourself all this stuff that's going on, especially if you're a nice, caring person, because you kind of want to trust that person. You want to give them trust, you want to give them love and support, and you don't want to be the person that's like, you don't want to be the person that's controlling, right? You don't want to be the person that's like thinking things about them. You want to let them have a certain amount of freedom. But the thing is in trying to give them their freedom, in trying to think the best of them, you can actually be doing yourself a disfavor by not seeing all the red flags that are popping up to you. You can be being too nice to them, if that's a word. You know, it's kind of like you need to get the hell out of there, not think you can fix them, not think you can change them, because once a person's like that, a majority of time they'll continue to be like that. There are exceptions to the rule. I have a friend who's not asexual, and he used to be a womanizer, and then he turned out to get married, be a police officer, and have some kids, and completely changed his life around. So there are a few people that do change their life around from being, you know, he used to two-time girls. You know, I dated him, and actually I dated him very briefly for one night, and I did actually be friends with him afterwards, because I've just said to you earlier that I don't usually be friends with someone afterwards. But with him, it was like I was a teenager, and I think I went out with him for just one night when he saw his mum. But actually, he probably did still fancy me afterwards. But I did used to see him, so that's not totally true when I said I don't be friends with someone. But I wasn't in a proper relationship with him. You know, everyone that I've been actually in a proper relationship with, I've never gone back to them. You know, it's like I got into with this guy, I was in a relationship for about one night at a party, and he kissed me the next day, and I realised he was the wrong guy for me. Do you know what I mean? There was nothing there. So I have, you know, like, you know, I'm friends with one guy I dated as well, because he works in a restaurant that I need to go in. So it's kind of like I did it for a different reason. But, you know, in an actual full-blown relationship, I don't go back to the person if they've been bad to me, because there's no point, because they'll just do the same thing. Even if they say they've changed, you can never trust them. Once they start lying to you, you know, that's it. They you can't ever trust them, because they've lied to you, and they shouldn't be lying to you about anything. There's no need for them to lie to you, right? They're lying to you. It's not a right relationship, because they can't be honest with you in the first place. So I think it's really, really important that you look out for all these signs. And if you suspect your person's cheating on you, you know, you're probably right, and leave, because you can't trust them anyway. And the thing is, if you stay with someone who's a cheater or likely going to cheat, or, you know, very soon, the problem is you will become more, you know, like yourself, you will become more second guessing them all the time. You won't trust them. You'll start to second guess them. And then that will cause conflict in the relationship anyway, because you won't trust them. Then they'll start blaming you for not trusting them, when really they're not trustworthy. And then that person will start blaming you, saying nasty stuff like you're controlling and stuff. But you're just protecting yourself, and you're just damn scared that they're doing something they shouldn't be doing to you. Do you know what I mean? So before you even get into that situation of arguments and are you cheating, aren't you cheating, it's just best to just let them go. You know, however painful, horrible and heartbreaking it might be in the time, it's just best to let them go, and don't get back with that person ever again, because you can't trust them. You just can't trust them. If you're breaking up with someone like that in the first place, you're breaking up with them for a reason, right? It might be other reasons as well, but it means you can never get back with them, because you can never trust them ever again. Once your trust is broken, that's it. Trust is so, so hard. They play head games. Yes, Heather, they do play head games. They play a lot of head games, sadly. And I do think it's really bad that people get with asexuals and they lie as well, you know? It's like, what's the point? If you can't be with an asexual, don't be with us. Do you know what I mean? And they do play head games and they do a lot of emotional rubbish. And they always make out you're the problem. But that's coming up in my control video, which I'll be doing on my next live stream. So there will be overlaps between this video and that video, because obviously, you know, a cheater is often a manipulator, a controller anyway, because they cover up their lies, and in order to cover up their lies, they have to spin you a line, you know. And when you are an intelligent person and you know really what they're doing, and you'll call them out on it, then they're gonna deny it, aren't they? They're gonna you know, deny it, and they're gonna, you know, try and say other things like, oh, I made a mistake, or I didn't know that. They should play Pokemon instead. Yeah, that's about their level, isn't it, Heather? They're little boys, if you're talking about guys, little boys and their little toys. Actually, Pokemon's too good for them. But yeah, it's really, you know, I just want to put this video out there because I'm fed up with people cheating on asexuals. I'm fed up with people cheating full stop, whether you're asexual or not, you know. I think it's disgusting. And you know, I don't understand why people even bother with relationships when they're like that. I don't understand why they just don't stay single and slap a thing over their head saying, hey, I just want sex. I just want a sex with loads of women. Who's up for it? Do you know what I mean? They may as well stick sirens on their head. You know, I'm sure if they went to a nightclub, they could easily get the sex. You know, and if they want like 20 women on the go at once, why don't they just say, no, I'm single, dating 20 women? Be honest about it, for God's sake. Do you know what I mean? They're just such liars. And it just wastes a lot of your time and energy and effort. The sooner you find out what they're up to, the better. But they won't admit it. They'll be very cunning about it. They will hide it to the hilt. And they will pretend that they're sweet and innocent, that you're the one with the problem because you're paranoid and you can't trust them. Well, you're paranoid and can't trust them for a reason, because they're not being trustworthy in the first place, you know? If they say you're paranoid and you know, and stuff like that, they're putting you down and belittling you because they want to get their own way. They want to have their cake literally and eat it. And don't give it to them. You know, cut away from them, block them on social media, you know, block them on Facebook, block them on YouTube, block them wherever you can, you know? And if you happen to run into them, it doesn't matter. You don't need to speak to them. You don't need to deal with them. You know, they're just immature, you know, and they can't admit they've got a problem. You know, if they've got a problem, a serious problem, like, you know, a porn addiction, or they've got an addiction where they can't stop lying and stuff, they need to get help. Let them go. Let them get a therapist, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, and get themselves sorted out. Let them stop all the lies, all what they're doing, and then let's see how they have changed, if they ever do, right? If someone seriously has a problem and they're willing to do all the therapy stuff and work for it, then maybe, just maybe, possibly, you know, it's up to you what you do with them in the future. But I'm telling you now, I wouldn't advise getting back with them, you know, because their problems are their problems and issues. They're not for you to deal with. There's plenty of other people out there in the world, and not everyone is dishonest. You know, I watch a lot of dating shows, you know, and one of the dating coaches, he says that there is literally 95% of people in the world won't be the right fit for you in a relationship. You know, that means there's 5%, and don't forget asexuals are 1% of the 5%. So well, 1% of, you know, 1% of the population, full stop. So it does make it harder for asexuals to get a right match, you know. But I mean, I personally think it's better for asexuals to try and be with other asexuals. But there are a few exceptions where some sexuals can be with asexuals without the sex. You know, it does happen. I read an article today, actually, and watched a YouTube video on it, where the girl was asexual, the guy wasn't. They've been in a relationship for 4 years, and 3 of the years they haven't had sex, and he doesn't need it. He's quite happy without it to be with her, because she's wonderful, and he's super romantic. So I was really happy to hear that. And they're in the UK, actually. I've heard a man call me square, so I said, I guess I'm SpongeBob Square, which isn't square. He's very hilarious. I thought, yeah, I love that, Heather. That's really funny. I've heard of That's a very good tactic. Yeah, when someone puts you down and calls you something and they expect you to be upset about it, just act, just go, yeah, sure I am. So if people call me weird, I'll say, yeah, great. I don't want to be normal anyway. If someone calls me like whatever they call me, like some people at my old job, they used to call me weird. I'm like, great. I don't want to be the same as everyone else. I even did a radio podcast. Well, it was a podcast I did, and it was all about being a authenticity coach, like a quirky coach that I am. And it was all about being different. And the person who's a podcast presenter, before I actually talked about asexuality on that podcast, by the way. It was like an entrepreneur podcast. Before we got to that actual topic, off air, he started saying to me about me being different. I said, and he said something to me. I said, no, I want to be different. I don't want to be like everyone else. And I think that's an important point there is, is the person as well that you are with, are they trying to follow the crowd? Are they a people pleaser? Because if they are a people pleaser, they are less likely to be faithful, to be completely honest with you, because they can't say no. If someone cannot say no to things that are put in front of them, and they continuously can't say no. So say, for example, you're with a person, say for example, you're with a guy and they're letting other women touch them, for example, they can't say no to them. That guy is likely to cheat. Imagine you're away for the weekend, right? And they've got other women doing that with them. I mean, are they really going to say no if they're not saying no and you're actually with them? Are they going to say no? It's going to be very difficult for them to say no, isn't it? If they're a people pleaser and they just, they believe, for example, some guys just can't seem to resist any woman touching them or feeling their butt or whatever they're doing, and they just can't seem to say no to women, and they just want to please all women. If you've got a guy like that, it's like 9 times out of 10, if the sex was handed to them on a plate, they'd likely go for it because they can't say no. They want to please everyone all the time. They want to keep people happy all the time. You don't want someone like that. You want a strong person for you, someone who can say no. They don't have to be nasty about it, but they can say no, but they can be really firm and strong. And they know that you need someone who's good for you, someone who's able to say no to other people, someone who's able to see other people that are manipulating them as well. If they're the type of person that's being controlled by other people, that's letting other people manipulate them, how do you think they're going to be in a situation where someone they're attracted to crops up? Of course they're going to be seduced by them. They're going to let them seduce them. They're going to let people walk all over them. They're going to let people cheat with, allow themselves or allow other people to cheat with them. Of course they are, because they can't say no. They just want to go around pleasing everyone. They're one of those people that, you may as well just call a doormat, because that's what they're doing, basically, trying to please everyone in their life. You're not here to please everyone in your life. You're here to make a difference in the world, to be polite and caring to people, but have the ability to set boundaries with people and say no as and when necessary. You have to have boundaries in a relationship. That means boundaries within a relationship and boundaries for other people whilst you're in that relationship, particularly if you're monogamous, right? Particularly if you are monogamous, right? You need to set boundaries. Otherwise, you just let all on sundry do whatever to you, It's ridiculous. You need to be able to say, no, I've got a girlfriend. No, I've got a boyfriend. There was a situation whereas I was at a pub with my friend in my city, and this guy, he was a foreign guy, and he just had to, I've seen him before, and he has to keep getting drunk. I was attracted to him, but when I saw him doing this, I just thought, you're a vulture, mate, an absolute vulture, right? And all he would do is drink loads of beers to eventually plucked up the courage to go and try his hands all over other women, right? And this particular girl was with her boyfriend. She'd been dancing with him, right? He went off to the bar, and this guy saw his opportunity and went up to her and started putting his hands all over her. And she's like, no, I've got a boyfriend. I'm with someone. No, and she could tell him. But I don't see a lot of guys doing that. I don't see a lot of guys doing that the opposite way around. I see women actually being stronger a lot of the time than guys. Women saying no. I'm talking about like hetero relationship in this particular instance. She was with a guy, and other guy was attracted to her and wanted to be with her. But I don't see, I don't know if that had been the guy had a woman all over him, the guy that she was in a relationship with, if he would have actually said no. Because in my experience, a lot of guys, they don't say no. You've got to pick and choose your battles. This is true, Heather. But you've also got to be firm with people, you know? Like there's a guy that touched my ass in a nightclub. I mentioned this in a video. I said, don't you do that again. That was it. Didn't touch my ass again, you know? Because I won't have it, because my tone, right? You know, my tone says everything. It says I don't want to be touched. Don't do that again. And I was single at the time. I wasn't in a relationship. But if a guy who is single, or girl, or whatever, if they haven't got boundaries in place with people when they're single, think what they're going to be like in a relationship. Are they just going to change just like that? No. If they can't say no to things, if they're tempted by excessive alcohol, if they're tempted by, you know, like, I don't know, like obsessed over porn, if they have unhealthy relationships in friendships, for example, what are they going to be like in a relationship with you? You know, like, you can often tell a lot as well by people's friends. So if you're thinking about getting in a relationship with someone, you know, and you're on Facebook, look through their friends list, see what type of people they got as their friends. If they've got a lot of people that look like they're porn people on their friends list, then what does that tell you about them? If they've got a lot of people that are, you know, that are like, I don't know, they all their pictures look like they're one of the lads, for example. If they're a guy, they're one of the lads, and they don't seem to have any pictures of them doing anything worthwhile with their life, contributing to society, you know, caring about any cause and stuff like that. You know, they just seem like they're a lad. You know, I'm saying this about guys, but obviously this could apply to women. Some women just, like, you know, don't really have any goals, ambition, dreams in life. They just have like loads of guys all over their Facebook. You know what I mean? If a guy as well has got and you're hetero, and a guy has got tons of women all over his Facebook and not many guys, then you know that he's into women. That his main prerogative is just collecting women on his friends list. That type of person is more likely to cheat on you if you get a relationship with them, because they're already thinking about tons of different women before you even get a relationship. What you want is someone who is stable. You know, you want someone who's got, you know, like equal kind of guys and girls on their friends list. You know, someone who's like trying to live for a cause, someone who's trying to, you know, change the world, someone's trying to make a difference, someone who's trying to make a stand on something, someone's got opinion and doesn't care what people think. You know, if you see, but got opinions in a good way, not opinions as in they want to cut people down, they want to overstamp them, their opinion matters more than anyone else. You don't want that type of thing. So if you look on their Facebook, a Facebook page can tell you lots about the person, I tell you. So if you go on their Facebook page and they've got like posts where they're really belittling a certain type of person or certain type of lifestyle, or, you know, they got a lot of violent stuff on their Facebook page, you know, that can tell you about the type of person they want. And also, if they've got friends that are bad friends, you know, like smoking cannabis. I mean, I know some asexuals do smoke drugs, but in my opinion, that's not very good and healthy, because it's not very good for the body. But, you know, like if they've got, you know, like stuff like, you know, unhealthy habits of smoking, drinking, and all that type of thing. You know, obviously people do drink, but, you know, if they're drunk type of people, or they're, you know, they're writing messages on their Facebook like they're completely peed out their brain and they're just writing garbage, you know, that's not really going to be a good person for you to get in a relationship with, is it? You know what I mean? So, you know, if they've got people on their friends list that are business people, maybe people that are teachers, or maybe people that are to do their studies, you know, like people that are, you know, that they look quite sensible, they've got nice clothes on, they have not got really loads of tons of people with provocative clothing on, you know, they're quite like sort of like family people they're friends with, you know, or people that like also their friends have got good friends, you know, like friends say a lot. And my friends are really good friends, right? They are really supportive. So when you see my friends, you know I've got good quality friends. That says a lot about me, doesn't it? Because I'm a good quality person. I attract good quality friends. If they've got friends that aren't very good quality people, you know, they don't really care about people in their life. They're very insensitive, shallow people. They're friends. You know, what does that say about the type of person that they are? They kind of have to be similar to that in some ways to be really good friends with that person. Obviously, you can have acquaintances as well. But, you know, you have to ask yourself all these types of things. And if their friends, for example, are people that all like cheating themselves and having tons of different women or tons of different guys, you know, what does that say that they're likely to do? You know, if they're mixing with that crowd consistently all the time, you know, and they seem to think it's funny, it's a warning sign that that person's going to cheat on you, isn't it? You know, you need to get a really good person for you, right? They are people out there that are really good people. The type of person you need is someone who's really kind, really considerate, really caring, who maintains good behaviour throughout the time you're with them. Also, you need a good that will stick up for you. Yes, Heather, you do need someone that will stick up for you. This is a really important thing. Heather, I love you so much as my friend. This is really important. So, for example, if you're in a relationship with someone and that person is not sticking up for you and someone else is being horrible to you, a friend, you also need a good friend that will stick up for you. Yeah, but also your partner should be your best friend, right? I haven't actually said this. Your partner should be your best friend, right? If they're not being your best friend, if you haven't got that foundation of best friendship with them, it's not going to last, right? You've got to be best friends with them. You should be, even if you haven't known that long, they should be working towards getting really good, solid foundation of friendship with you, right? And if they're your friend, they should stick up for you, right? So if the person you're in a relationship with or interested in has got other people, for example, in my situation, I'm attracted to guys, right? If the guy has got other women trying to like manipulate him, control him, and he's letting them do that, and they're saying nasty things about me, for example, and he's not sticking up for me, he's just siding with them or letting them say that about me or being nasty to me, that's not a good person, right? That's not a person you can have a relationship with, because it's like, why are you in the relationship with me if you care more about what they say and think than I do? You know, like your friends, true good friends should be supportive of you, kind and caring of your decisions, right? My friends don't tell me what to do. Even if I get in a relationship with someone, whether they like them or not, they will be supportive because they care about me. That's what a good friend looks like, right? You know, and you need a partner that will stick up for you, and that's so important. This goes into control as well. So if, for example, you've got maybe members of your family or people that you know that aren't particularly nice to you sometimes, this is another scenario, they aren't particularly nice to you sometimes, and your partner meets that person and they start laughing and joking at your expense with the person that's not very nice to you, that person is not going to be good for you either. So I'm not saying this is a sign necessarily of them cheating on you, but it's a sign that they're not a good person to be in a relationship with. But if they are, so for example, in my case, because I'm attracted to guys, you know, if they've got people like other women that are trying to stop me being in a relationship with them, and that person's not doing anything about it, saying, look, I'm with them, you know, get lost type thing, I don't expect you to treat my girlfriend like that, that's another huge red flag, because it means other women have got control over that person, power over that person, and they're listening to their needs more than their own girlfriend's needs, right? Which is blatantly wrong, you know? That shouldn't be happening. They shouldn't be putting needs of, which is, you know, the friends shouldn't be needy in that way. The friends should just be supportive and there as friends, not trying to take over the relationship. And so if the person you're in a relationship with isn't sticking up for you or even sticking up for themselves, then that's a huge red flag. They're not decent people. They're not a good person to be with because they're being controlled and manipulated by someone else and they're letting that happen. Or they enjoy the fact that they're getting the attention from other people, you know, and then that becomes weird. It's like, are you really just their friend? Or is it more to it than that, you know? So if a person, right, is friends with their ex as well, that is a red flag. You know, it depends on the situation of how long they were together, of how buddy they are with them, of what the relationship is. But if they're keeping, for example, if they're keeping all their ex-partners as friends, especially if they weren't with them very long, it begs the question, like, why are they doing that? And if they've got pictures all over their Facebook and other stuff when they're in a relationship with you, I mean, that's really disrespectful, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And that's a huge red flag that they just like to be seen in relationships with loads of women, regardless of whether they're cheating on you or not cheating on you, just by having someone else on their profile picture, making it look like that person's they're in a relationship with, even if they said they're not anymore, like they still are, or they just want people to think that they can get other women. Do you know what I mean? It's disgusting. These are like some of the huge red flags, but you know, you do need a partner to stick up for you. And if they're not sticking up for you, it's likely they're going to be controlling and badly behave towards you as well, because they are siding with other people who are being nasty to you. If they're siding with other people that are being nasty to you or horrible to you, it means they in effect are being horrible to you as well by ganging up or laughing or joking with those other people. They don't really care about you. They're more about appearances and fitting in with the crowd. That's what it means. You know what I mean? And if they like, another red flag, huge red flag, is if they want to go and actually spend time in, like sleep over someone else's house. Like, for example, I have my asexual friends that come for asexual meetups, right? They come and they stay in hotels. They're not staying in my room with me. I don't have a spare room as it is. But you know what I mean? They're not in the same room, the house as me. They are actually literally in hotels, So if you've got a person in a relationship with you and they're meant to be serious and committed with you, yet they're going over sleeping someone else's house for 2 or 3 days in a row, especially if they haven't introduced you to that person, you don't know who they are. They've just sprung it on you. Oh, I'm going to this person's house for X amount of days, and they're going to be cooking and cleaning and doing all that stuff for them. That's like what a boyfriend would do for them or girlfriend would do for them. When you're in a relationship, if they're behaving with someone else like they're in a relationship with them when they're in a relationship with you, that's a huge red flag. They're either cheating or gonna cheat on you. I was reading a comment on a YouTube video the other day, and it was all about people that are so-called friends with other people and basically like doing stuff for them like they would be in a relationship. So there was one person and they're like, oh, my boyfriend, it's a long distance relationship, and he's just met this woman on the bus, and he's inviting her over to his house and he's cooking for her, and he's doing more for her than he does for me. I mean, that is a huge red flag that he's either cheating or gonna cheat, or he's not good enough to be with you in the first place. If he's being a better person, doing more for the new person than he is for you when you're supposed to be his girlfriend, or obviously if it's a different gender you're attracted to, then do you know what I mean? If they're treating another person that potentially they could be attracted to better than they're treating you, what does that say? One, it says they're no good for you anyway, because they're not putting your needs first, they're not putting you first, they're caring more about another person than they are to you. Do you know what I mean? And why are they doing that? Like, obviously when you're single, it's a little bit different, isn't it? And I appreciate this. It's a hard situation, but if they got friends of the opposite sex, they should be kind of like like not staying around the house, or if they are, they should be introducing you to them and making you feel comfortable with it and having no secrets. And but if the person who they're going around to see doesn't even like you, doesn't want anything to do with you, that's a huge red flag that something's going on between them that shouldn't be. Do you know what I mean? And it's just weird. So that is like they're either cheating on you, likely to cheat, or they're not good boyfriend or girlfriend material for you anyway, because it should be out in the open. It's very tricky if they're like, I'm friends, most of my friends are guys, and I'm never ever going to stop being friends with guys when I get into a relationship, but I have very, very strict boundaries. I'm totally 100% trustworthy, and I have very, very tight boundaries. And as you know, I'm asexual, so like a sexual's not got anything to worry about me cheating with them. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of like some of my friends homo romantics anyway. They're into guys, so they're not going to fancy me with a barge pole. Do you know what I'm saying? But I have very, very tight boundaries, and I have nothing to hide either. So it's very, 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 like sketchy if they go around spending time over other person's house, and also if they're treating the other person better than they're treating you, and they're being secretive and stuff, or they just spring stuff on you weren't expecting. It's not good. It's a huge red flag. They're either cheating, gonna cheat, or they're not really that into you in the first place. You know what I mean? How do you know any asexual porn you can recommend best? No, I'm not into porn. Porn's disgusting. I'm asexual. Asexual means I lack sexual attraction. I hate porn. It's disgusting. I don't like sex. So asexual is a sexual orientation that's a lack of sexual attraction. As in, I don't get the need, urge, or want for sexual intercourse ever. And as an asexual, I hate porn. It's disgusting. So of course I can't recommend any porn. There isn't asexual porn. That's hideous. So yeah, so you don't want a guy who's going around like this guy is, interested in loads of porn, because obviously they're not going to be very faithful to a person. Huge red flag. Don't go for that person in the chat. Right, anyway, I'm going to conclude tonight's video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now or post new video. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. Get close on, yeah. Yes, how that get clothes on. Yeah. I deleted it anyway. His message, I have the power to delete whatever I want. So I just remove it. I'm not interested in talking to people like that. It's just been disgusting. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. Yeah, I won't have people coming on my channel just being disgusting, you know. But anyway, it's a very good example of a guy or person that is likely to cheat on you if they're writing stupid comments like that about show me some porn. They don't even understand what asexuality is. Anyway, so yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe if you haven't already. I will be doing the next video live stream will be about control, how to spot someone who is controlling in behavior and if you are being controlled and manipulated. So that is a really good video. Please do not miss that episode. It's very imperative you watch it, because there are loads and loads of red flags, and it's important that you understand what type of thing to look for so you can avoid getting into a relationship with the wrong person who's no good for you. Anyway, Heather, thank you so much for listening and watching. Thank you, Sean, for watching as well. I really appreciate you being here. I appreciate... Oh, hi, Sam. I didn't know you're watching, my best friend. Thank you. Good video. Good night. Thank you, Sam. Lots of love to you as well. Lots of love to Heather. Lots of love to Sean. Anyway, take care. I'll see you soon, and I'll see you on the next video. Don't forget to watch it, because it's going to be an amazing video of how to spot signs of control and manipulation. Really essential you watch it so you can stay away from bad people. Anyway, take care. Lots of love to everyone. Take care. Bye. Nice to see you.